Tarot comes from the word torochi, which is an original gold gilding technique. During the time of the paper press, so tarot cards originally were printed on enormous blocks, and the gold foil was called torochi, the imprinting of the blocks. Some would say later on, occultists would say that tarot comes from the word Torah, okay, for the hidden wheel of life. And today tarot has a lot of taboo behind it, especially for people who are practicing Christians, but of course religion is all of a oneness anyway. And so originally tarot was designed to go through the tree of life. The tree of life was the original structure of a molecule. So you have your proton, neutron, electron, your feminine, masculine, and neutral pillar, okay? So this here was originally designed by the Babylonians. The Babylonians borrowed it from the Sumerians. Abraham, the father and monarch of all modern religion, came from the city of Ur, which was a Sumerian city, meaning he was bringing Sumerian knowledge into the Western world, into the vast lands. Plus, he was trading with the Egyptians. So you'll see later on, like Joseph, the king of dreams, who the Hebrews revere, he also intermingled with ancient Egyptians. And so this knowledge is old, it's not new, with the exception of the tarot being able to be printed on paper actually. So prior to that, a lot of this was kept within temple worshippers and practitioners and priests, of course, who selected a handful of chosen disciples. The original 22 cards stand for the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. Each of them have a subliminal message relating to the Sefer Yetzirah, which is the holy book of Abraham. And this book, it explains how man was created using the Hebrew letters, and each of them corresponding to one of their body parts. And each of these sephiras, the divine emanation of God's power, were used to create the blueprint of man. And so you'll have the left and right side. This is why we have our left and right hand, or our two nostrils, represents our solar and lunar influence, i.e. male and female. So the 22 paths on the tree of life also correspond to those 22 original arcana cards. So make no mistake about it, tarot was originally intended for observers of the truth, of the Torah, trying to connect with higher consciousness. Later on, we used it to foretell the future. I mean, sure, you can, but you can use it as a meditative tool as well, which is what I use it for. And so, moving along. So, here we go. Hi. Sorry. So, Olivia's here with us today, and we will be performing a live reading. Never did this before, a little nervous, but I'm going to try to do my best. Incorporating the multiple disciplines from the tarot schools, the hidden mystery schools, such as Paul Foster Case's school, or the School of the Golden Dawn, the Rosicrucian Order. These are secret groups, esoteric groups, which were responsible for keeping a lot of this knowledge, which I'm now bringing to you today. So here we go. So Olivia, I'm just going to have you divide this in 6 ways, okay?
Sure.
6 is the number of the sun, so I like this number.
We're doing right?
Mm-hmm. And afterwards, I'm ready for comments. If you guys want to know what these charts are for, I can explain them. Keep in mind, the Jews did not create the tarot system, but they were amazing record keepers. And so they are credited with preserving a lot of this knowledge, but it's ancient knowledge and it belongs to the world. So here we go, starting now. Generally, I begin with like a prayer. You can ask your 4 archangels, one who guards over each of the elements. Uriel, Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael guard over the southwest, north, and east quadrants. So generally, I'll pray beforehand to sort of like set the mood so that the intention is pure and channeled from a higher source, unconvoluted and untainted. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
So I hope you enjoy. The card that slipped out was the 19th card. It's interesting, we're on the 19th floor too. Okay. Now this spread is designed after the Chariot of Ascension. So you have the 4 sacred beasts according to Ezekiel's vision. So you have these quadrants represent those 4 sacred beasts, and the center is the chariot of your life. Essentially, it's what you're working with, what you're trying to overcome. Now I've done hundreds, if not thousands, of readings now, and I use this spread. It's one of my favorite. So generally, I would ask the person if you had any questions, but if you don't, it's fine. This spread can allow you to pretty much see anything you want to ask.